Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today for our Latin America with Trafalgar Training Tuesday webinar. For those of you unfamiliar with me, I tend to host these events pretty much monthly if I can schedule them in. I'll pick a random topic covering something across our brands and then really go in depth promoting it. I am going to just jump right into the presentation. For those of you showing up late, there will be a recording emailed to you afterwards if you're not able to attend live. And then I do also upload these trainings to my YouTube channel. If you'd like to check them out, there's plenty of them up there already. But yeah, without further delay, I'm going to jump right into it. So I'm going to explain why TTC Tour Brands is the best way to explore Latin America. For us, it really is about making sure we can dive deep into the beauty, both natural and the people of Latin America. And I am going to start off with a short little video here highlighting some of our brands. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera since it tends to kind of mess with the video playing. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hit play, so enjoy the video.
Travel broadens our perspective of the world and our place in it. When we tread right together, it remains a gift for future generations. The beauty of a destination is its people. Through travel, we have the opportunity to do good in the world and discover more about who we are, simply by stepping outside of our comfort zone.
All right, so that is a great introduction to all of the brands that I represent. So I'm a part of TTC Tour Brands, which is owned by the Travel Corporation. What we do is we make our tours as simple as possible for agents like yourselves to just book and go. So all the ease, confidence, and the immersiveness of our trips allow you to sit back and know that we are delivering a world-class experience to your clientele. We take care of all the details: accommodations, dining, experiences, responsible travel, the itinerary and pace for the right person. We have different group sizes depending on our brands, always modern and comfortable transportation, as well as some of the best travel directors in the industry. But of course, the price point matters, and that's why we love to say we have tours for any and everyone, anything from budget travel all the way up to high-end luxury travel, giving your clients really the choice to explore the way they want to. It's ultimately what we like to refer to as our 10 out of 10 satisfaction seal, the fact that we bring 100 plus years of travel expertise to truly deliver the best tours in the world. If you look at our platinum FIFO ratings across our brands, our exceptional NPS scores, and the wonderful customer testimonials, we give agents the confidence in selling travel experiences that will not only meet but exceed your clients' needs, and your clients can be assured of having the very best time on trip. So by participating in these experiences, you'll leave with a greater understanding of sustainable issues, and we are going to be focusing on what we call our Make Travel Matter experiences as well. So let's dive in. When it comes to TTC Tour Brands, I represent 4 brands in particular that can explore Latin America. So if you're looking on the left there, we have Luxury Gold, which is our high-end luxury brand focusing on the ultimate VIP, 5-star hotel accommodations, Michelin star dining options, curated experiences, allowing your guests to dive deep into the rich culture and the people of their chosen destination. With Insight Vacations, we refer to it as the art of traveling in style. We like to refer to it as our business class touring, which means if you have clientele that normally travel on business class, I'd highly encourage looking at Insight Vacations as their go-to for any guided tours. It's for the worldly and curious. It's meant for the insightful travelers. We're looking at 4 and 5 star hotel accommodations with great walkability ratings, and of course, unique, insightful experiences with Insight Vacations. And just so you know, Insight was recently ranked as the most in-depth tour operator by Reader's Digest magazine. So if many of you are familiar with Trafalgar, for us, it's a way to tour differently. It's really about giving your clients the value that they need to explore on their own terms. With Trafalgar, it really is about introducing your clients to the people. It's about iconic local experiences, from our Be My Guest to our Stays with Stories. It's real, it's human, and it's local. And for those of you who have clients that want to travel but maybe have a limited budget, I highly recommend getting to know Cost Saver. All of the essentials are covered by us, but the trip is 100% tailored by your guests. It gives your clients the freedom and flexibility to explore on their own. The experiences are optional, meaning they can choose a few, they can choose some, or they can choose none at all. And the benefit to the client is they'll get plenty of free time to explore on their own, with the advantage of having that travel director, all their transportation taken care of, accommodations, and most of their meals included as well. So those are just 4 of the 6 brands that I represent, but these are the only ones that we can offer that explore Latin America. I am leaving out Contiki, but that is our more youth-oriented brand between 18 to 35. So for those of you just joining in, we are going to be diving specifically into Latin America and why TTC Tour Brands is in the best position to give your clients these amazing experiences. For those of you unfamiliar, the Travel Corporation manages 40 award-winning brands, including Uniworld and Red Carnation Hotels. For us, it really is about being driven by service. That's the Tolman family's motto. They started their company over 100 years ago with a small hotel in South Africa and have grown it into one of the largest travel corporations in the world. Their focus on sustainability and sustainable practices is truly moving. And for us, it is about making sure that we tread right, which is why we launched our How We Tread Right sustainability strategy in 2020. It's based on 11 measurable goals that are tied directly to the United Nations Goals for Sustainable Development. They address the issues of climate change, sustainable food production, waste reduction, travel experiences, diversity, inclusion, and wildlife. Now, our Make Travel Matter experiences are conscious travel experiences that are chosen with great care based on their positive social or environmental impact. It's really meant to give your clients a really deep experience that allows them to give back to the people and the places that they visit. While it may not be the main reason your clients are booking our trips due to these experiences, when we survey them afterwards, it is one of the most memorable experiences that they all tend to share on the tour. So we are able to offer your clients a way to travel more sustainably without adding any additional costs. It's just something that we're taking the initiative on as a company, and we're actually hoping that our competitors and other travel companies mimic our strategy, because we all need to do our best when it comes to reducing our carbon footprint, especially in the travel industry. So with that being said, I am going to jump into our topic of the day, which is Trafalgar, exploring Latin America. I do want to share a small experience that I had. I studied abroad in Argentina. I lived in Mendoza when I was studying at UC Davis. When the program ended, I decided to do a backpacking trip through South America. I speak fluent Spanish, so when I was traveling in the South American countries that spoke Spanish, I was fine. I was able to ask questions and kind of get where I needed to go. When I crossed the border into Brazil, that changed completely. They only speak Portuguese in Brazil, so it was very difficult for me to navigate. I remember a frustrating day in Sao Paulo where I was taking the subway trying to figure out where to go with my little Frommer's guide. Ended up finding a beautiful plaza with a large cathedral, sat on the cathedral steps, reviewing my Frommer's guide in vain. When I realized that I wasn't going to be able to figure anything out, I kind of gave up, went back to the hostel and called it a loss. Well, the next day I was going to Rio and I was only going to be there for a full day. So I wanted to make that experience memorable. I went out of my way, talked to the valet at the hostel, who ended up setting me up with a great local guide. It was way outside of my price range, but it was totally worth it. My guy Franco showed up in his personal SUV, probably. He ended up asking me just where I wanted to go. I told him I wanted to see as much as I could of the city, and he did a fantastic job. I mean, he drove me through some neighborhoods that I would have never known. Through a little bit of a walk, about a half a mile or so, we found ourselves on top of Pedro Bonita, which is this gorgeous rock that overlooks the entire city of Rio. So for me personally, I immediately saw the value of having a guide having a local really show me around in these destinations. To this day, it's still one of the most memorable experiences I have, is exploring Rio de Janeiro with Renko. And these are the type of experiences that we're going to be able to deliver to your clients to really elevate their trip and add value. So for us, it really is a point of pride that we do the best when it comes to guided touring, and that's why Trafalgar is considered our value brand. Our guests absolutely feel that they get their money's worth when it comes to our trips. In fact, we design our tours so your clients can experience the world differently. Guests get the personal service, attention to detail, and ease that they're looking for while enjoying the unbeatable experiences that they've always dreamed of. Our connections in every destination and the importance that we place on making a positive impact on the places that we visit are all a part of what choosing to tour differently is all about. Tour differently isn't just what we promise, it's absolutely what we deliver. Now, you don't have to take it from me. We have a 4.6 star FIFO rating. That's thousands of unedited, unfiltered reviews from our clientele. And for us, it is about making sure that we give the best possible experience to your clients, because they are going to come back again and again and again. Just as you have, certain people that are loyal to certain products like Apple and, Google, whatever it might be, we have similar clientele that just absolutely love Trafalgar and have done multiple trips with us each year. And if you happen to have any past guests, I highly recommend reaching out to them right now, since we are offering a double past guest incentive, saving them 10% instead of just 5%. So we are going to move on to Latin America in general, but the reason that Trafalgar is the best way to explore Latin America, we're going to highlight all the must-see sites, including some local secrets. We're going to focus on offering these unique, one-of-a-kind experiences that cannot be found outside of Trafalgar. We're going to offer some responsible travel experiences and opportunities to your clientele. Meanwhile, everything will be absolutely taken care of, meaning that they can sit back, enjoy the trip, and not worry about a single thing, because we are going to be there 24/7 to support them. So I do want to show some of the must-sees to local secrets. For those of you unfamiliar with South America, it is massive. I mean, it's just about, people don't realize, but if you turn Argentina sideways, it's as big as the United States. So it is an incredibly large area to explore, and we offer multiple itineraries that can really focus on different countries, different areas, different ecosystems that your clients might be interested in exploring. So let's dive into some of these unique experiences. The first one I want to highlight is Iguazu Falls with a local expert. This is part of our Dive into Culture experience. It can be found on our Impressions of South America itinerary. Iguazu Falls is just an amazing destination. I've been there myself. The moment you pull into the hiking area where you start getting closer to the falls, you can hear the roar of the water. There's a very terrifying section of that catwalk that leads into an area called the Devil's Throat, which is essentially just an incredibly loud roar. It's filled with mist. Visibility is zero, but you're right there at the base of the waterfall, feeling the intensity of the water. Of course, you're going to get soaked at the same time, but it's an amazing experience. Iguazu Falls sits right on the border with Brazil and Argentina. So for many people visiting South America, this is an absolute must-do. And we get to do it with a local expert. He's a naturalist. He's familiar with the ecosystems in the area, so he'll do a fantastic job highlighting everything to your clients. Another fantastic experience that your guests are going to love, especially if they're outdoors. Anybody who has any active clientele that really want to explore the great outdoors, there's an abundance of itineraries available with our South American itineraries with Trafalgar. So this one is another dive into culture. It is in Argentina. It's called Tierra del Fuego National Park. Once again, we get to explore with a local specialist. Your guests get to admire beautiful waterfalls, forests, and snow-capped mountains. And there is an abundance of wildlife in this area. We are asking our guests to keep an eye out for red foxes, condors, eagles, and beavers as well. And you can find this on our Wonders of Patagonia itinerary with Trafalgar. Another amazing experience for those of you looking to go to Brazil. Our Dive into Culture has us doing the Ginga Tropical Show. So the Ginga Tropical celebrates the diversity and culture of the Northeast Amazon, the Pampas, the Bahia, and the Rio de Janeiro area through music and dance. This Bohemian culture folklore is full of mystical rituals and is represented by drummers and beautiful dancers dressed in those amazing carnival costumes. So even if you have clients that are like, oh, I'd love to do carnival in Brazil, but maybe the timing doesn't work out where they can make it out during that specific week, we have this amazing Ginga Tropical Show that's going to get them as close as possible without actually experiencing, Carnival during the height of Rio de Janeiro celebrations. But it really is an amazing experience. I've seen this firsthand myself. The revelry that goes on and the amazing performances, it's just going to keep your clientele mesmerized. and it's a signature experience on our Impressions of South America itinerary with Trafalgar. Now, another iconic site that most people want to visit when they think about South America is, of course, Machu Picchu. I was fortunate enough to do the Inca Trail hike back when I was in college. Absolutely amazing experience. The day that we arrived in Machu Picchu, you walk through the Gate of the Sun. Right as the sun was rising, we saw the clouds depart, and it gave us this beautiful, almost heavenly image of Machu Picchu, which was just mesmerizing to say the least. But this is going to be a more gentle experience. It's on our highlights of Peru. We're not having your clients hike all the way to the top. For those of you unfamiliar, Machu Picchu sits on the very top of a very steep mountain. So we're not going to have them do any hiking. We're going to take a shuttle bus all the way to the top there. There's a hotel where they'll be staying right next to Machu Picchu, and they'll be able to walk out and simply go through the entrance and explore. Now, a huge advantage we have is we get to explore with a local specialist who's quite familiar with the ceremonies that went on in Machu Picchu, what they used for storage, how they developed agriculture, the significance of certain temples, how they were focusing on astronomy, and how they actually had an observatory up there as well. So he's very well versed in Incan history and culture, and he's going to elevate this experience for your guests. So these are the must-sees that I mentioned. When most people think about South America, these are things that you want to experience, right? Well, you can't go to Argentina without seeing the beautiful dance of the tango. We're going to be right there on the streets of Buenos Aires. There's a gorgeous little theater that we're going to see a private performance for just our guests. For those of you unfamiliar with the dance of tango, it's considered one of the most romantic forms of dance out there. It's really beautiful because the man is not supposed to be a part of the dance. He's really there just as support. And the whole dance is meant to highlight the beauty of the woman so that she does these amazing kicks and flares. And the man is just supposed to kind of be there as this almost like sentinel supporting her and guiding her through the dance. But a beautiful experience. Your guests get to actually partake in some of it. And I apologize, I didn't change the thing on the side there, but this is actually on our Impressions of South America itinerary, not highlights of Peru. All right, and then if we're moving on south, for those of you who have those adventurous guests who want to see those once-in-a-lifetime things that unfortunately, due to climate change and global warming, we are seeing even Perito Moreno start to shrink in size. So if your guests want to visit UNESCO-listed Los Glaciares National Park, it's now, and unfortunately could be never. So we want to join a local specialist for a deep exploration of this striking UNESCO-listed Los Glaciares National Park. It's within Argentina's largest and most famous national park. Your guests are going to come face to face with its Arctic blue and white glaciers that are fed by a massive South Patagonian ice field. The milky colored glacial lakes and the towering snow-capped peaks are going to be amazing, and the landscape has over 356 glaciers that start at an elevation of about 4,900 feet. So it's above sea level. They're going to reach these beautiful icy blue lakes. And the glacier you're looking at is called Perito Moreno, which towers above the icy waters of Lake Argentino, which is accessible by a short and gentle hike on that gorgeous little catwalk that you can see right there. So as you can see, beyond just experiencing the culture, you're going to dive deep into the natural wonders of South America as well. And with Trafalgar, we have the ability to highlight these unique, one-of-a-kind experiences that simply can't be found outside of our brands. A great example of that is our Be My Guest experience in Argentina, where your guests are going to visit an estancia in the Pampas region. It is like taking a step back in time for our guests. They're going to visit an authentic family-owned estancia. This is meant to experience the life of a gaucho in Argentina. For those of you unfamiliar, a gaucho is essentially a cowboy. So Trafalgar promises this unmatched access to communities around the world, and that's why experiences like this have been developed carefully for Trafalgar and its brands. I will say that for many of our Be My Guest hosts, we are their main source of revenue. So when our guests show up to basically do an experience or a visit, they are thrilled to have them there. They're going to enjoy an outdoor cookout. They have this beautiful wood stove where they're going to make fresh empanadas right then and there. We're going to see a presentation by some gauchos as they ride around on horses in the field, showing you their talented rope skills as well. So a really unique signature experience that we can highlight with Trafalgar. Another great example of our Be My Guest is in Costa Rica called Pozo Azul. They're going to meet Don Alberto and Doña Ana Quintana. They're going to welcome our guests into their eco-friendly farm for a Be My Guest lunch experience. They're going to get a true taste of the local culture. They're going to start with a tour of their organic orchard, where they're going to learn about the impact that their farm has had on the local community. And of course, no Be My Guest experience would ever be complete without sharing a meal. In this case, they're going to discover the family recipes of Miss Ana with several of the exotic crops from their farm, all while enjoying this beautiful view of the Sarapiqui River as well. And you can find that on Costa Rica's Eco Adventure. Now, one of our amazing stays with stories is on our highlights of Peru. So these experiences are meant to be it's meant to be more than just a hotel room. It's meant to be a stay with a story. It's meant to have history and culture attached to the property that they're staying. Well, they get to relax in incredible accommodations. This one's called Aranwa Sacred Valley Hotel and Wellness. It's actually built on the lands of an old 17th century colonial hacienda. Guests get a feel of the mysticism of the Sacred Valley of the Incas in one of the most beautiful landscapes in the world. They'll definitely want to leave with a story to tell. And your guests have access to this amazing property and all of its amenities, which do include a nice hiking area. They've got a beautiful fitness and spa center as well. So for us, it is about making sure that beyond just staying at a hotel, we want to make it an experience in itself. And that's a great way to highlight the Sacred Valley on our Highlights of Peru itinerary. So we did mention responsible travel is critical. The more we explore the world, the more responsible we have to be to protect it in order to save it for future generations to enjoy. The beautiful part about doing this with Trafalgar is that your guests don't have to pay anything extra. It's already included in their itineraries. They just get the benefit of knowing that they are absolutely giving back to the people and the places that they visit simply by joining us on a Trafalgar adventure. Now, the Make Travel Matter experiences that we have chosen are meant to give the biggest amount of feedback and support to the communities that we are always exploring. A really great one on our Costa Rica Eco Adventures, we're going to visit the heart of a palm plantation. So your guests are going to be welcomed by a Tico family into their palm plantation. This Make Travel Matter experience is going to highlight how the heart of the palm is harvested before trying the delicious plant ourselves. We're going to enjoy the universal language of food. We're going to hear stories about the farm. Your guests get to actually visit and actually have a conversation with Nidia. She used to run the farm for about 10 years with her husband, who unfortunately recently passed. But you're going to meet Nidia, her family, and this business is actually helping support her and her family, which is going to leave you feeling positive, knowing that this visit is contributing to supporting this authentic Tico family in the heart of the jungle, maintaining a beautiful palm plantation as well. Now, on top of that, another great experience. Hopefully, you guys are not scared of snakes, but on our amazing Monkeys, Jungles, and Volcanoes, which is a perfect family-friendly Costa Rica itinerary, we're going to explore Sarapiqui Snake Garden. It's a gorgeous wildlife center. For those of you unfamiliar, there's over 500 different species of wildlife scattered throughout Costa Rica. It does have a beautiful rainforest and a lot of biodiversity, but this wildlife center is meant specifically to protect the various native snakes in the region. Yes, some of them are poisonous, but no, you will not be put in any danger. It's just a magnificent experience with a local specialist. He'll be highlighting the importance of protecting the ecosystems and actually showing what life is like in the canopies above the forest floor, which is where a lot of these snakes tend to reside as well. So really cool experience. And as I mentioned, an incredibly family-friendly itinerary, which is Monkey Jungles and Volcanoes, which explores Costa Rica with Trafalgar. Now, another great experience, we're going to visit the Guarani community. This is in Brazil. So this is an ancestral Guarani community. Their name Guarani means jungle walk. Your guests are going to be greeted by an Aboriginal guide who leads you through the trails that surround and crisscross the village. They're going to learn about the beliefs, myths, legends, and the virtues of medicinal plants and their uses before visiting the temple in the heart of the jungle, discovering the initiation and baptism rituals of this tribe. They get to see the plantations, their homes, their hunting traps for different kinds of animals that they use since ancient times. And their visit ends with a great display of their handicrafts using renewable resources such as wood, liana seeds, and more. So these types of visits really add value to your client's experience. You know, we all want to visit the Amazon jungle. We all want to explore it. Why not explore it with people who have been living there for thousands and thousands of years? They're going to know it well. They're going to be able to highlight not just the ecosystem and its diversity, but truly show your clients a way of living that is probably way outside of what they're used to. So these types of eye-opening experiences are important, not just to give back to this community, but to really promote a more diverse way of life that will open the eyes of your clientele and keep them open to new experiences down the road as well. Now for us, Exploring the cloud forest is a gorgeous experience. You're going to do this amazing catwalk on our Costa Rica Eco Adventure. This is the Monteverde Cloud Forest Reserve. It is our Make Travel Matter experience for Costa Rica Eco Adventure. Your guests get to walk the canopy of this forest with a naturalist guide who's going to talk about the fauna and the flora, but he also understands the importance of Costa Rica's ecosystem from a naturalist perspective. Now, this goes directly towards our United Nations global goal, which is protecting life on land. And for us, it's really about making sure that these unique signature experiences are educating our clientele to the importance of how these visits and how our actions in general have a deep impact, even from forests that are thousands and thousands of miles away from where we live. So for us, it is about making sure these experiences are unique. They're signature to Trafalgar, which cannot be found outside of our brands. And if you look at this great experience on highlights of Peru, we visit Manos de la Comunidad. It's a weaving center to learn about artistic traditions and your guests get to meet the four Andean camels, which are llamas, alpacas, vicuñas, and guanacos. They get to step inside a private area to discover one of the traditions of the Sacred Valley called Lindaje. This typical tradition of several communities reinforces the borders of each community and involves several customs, one of which is a man dancing in typical women's clothes. So you get to enjoy an exclusive lunch at this beautiful outdoor space near the weaving center. And of course, your clients are going to have the ability to visit their gorgeous gift shop and take back some colorful textiles that are going to be, keepsakes for them for years to come. So that's really what we wanted to highlight. In terms of the experiences are quite unique, but one thing that we always do incredibly well with Trafalgar is have everything taken care of. So for agents like yourself, we want you all to feel confident in knowing that if you book your clients on our trips, they don't have a thing to worry about. We have travel directors that are the best in the industry. They're going to be there 24/7 to support. We've got amazing optional experiences that we can include on these trips as well. Now, for us, it is about making sure that our travel directors are simply the best out there. They go through an incredibly rigorous process. And in Latin America, most, if not all, of our travel directors are fully fluent in both Spanish and English, and of course, Portuguese when it comes down to it. So we are going to be able to navigate easily and give your guests that stress-free trip that they've always desired. So for us, it is about making sure as well that we are going to highlight all the different ways of exploring with Trafalgar. So I just wanted to kind of visit some of the itineraries that you might want to keep in mind moving forward. So one of our most popular is our highlights of Peru. If you have clients that want to visit Machu Picchu as well as other Incan sites, this is a nice 8-day, 4-city, 1-country tour. So it is going to cover the Inca treasures, wild landscapes, and ancient legends, all topped off with the opportunity to sample classic Peruvian pisco sours. They get to step back in time at Machu Picchu, get lost in the heady buzz of a local market in Lima, and discover textile art from a Quechua scholar as well. Another great itinerary you're going to want to explore, sorry, my computer's being a little slow, is Impressions of South America. So if you have clients that want to do maybe a more elaborate trip, this one visits two big countries, Brazil and Argentina. So there are internal flights that are included with the cost of their itinerary, which we are taking care of. But this trip goes from the vibrant shores of Copacabana to the thundering Iguazu Falls. Your 9-day South American tour sees our clients visiting Rio, some of its most exciting places, watching riveted dancers perform an unforgettable tango in Buenos Aires, and admire the vibrant colors and wildlife of the UNESCO-listed Iguazu National Park as well. And that is Impressions of South America. Now, another great itinerary that I wanted to highlight, of course, is our Costa Rica Eco Adventure. This is another 8-day, 9 locations, 1-country tour. Your clients get to glide through a tree-lined waterways and relax in thermal pools. They get to sample chocolate made from the world's best cacao and journey back in time to native Quaker and Old Town Monteverde. This Costa Rica tour captures the natural highlights and the biodiversity of this country as well. All right, and then our next trip here to highlight is South America Revealed. So if you have clients that have the time and want to spend a few weeks in South America, I'd highly encourage this itinerary. It includes 3 big countries, Peru, Brazil, and Argentina. So you're going to see beautiful people, equally stunning scenery, color, and culture. You're going to expect nothing else on Rio's gorgeous beaches, which is the launch pad for the South American tour through vibrant capitals, national parks, and the Incan heart of Peru. They'll even learn how to mix the perfect caipirinha and pisco sour as well. All right. And then we're going to jump over to our next itinerary here. Perfect. Land of the Incas. So you notice the highlights of Peru trip was 8 days. Well, this one's 13, almost double. And you're looking at this great Peru tour that focuses on Incan history. We're going to start at Machu Picchu, Ollantaytambo, Sacsayhuaman. They get to travel by private boat to the UNESCO-listed Tequil Island and by private plane above the lines and geoglyphs of the Nazca lines, which is huge. They get another highlight being guided through the Balaesta Islands, teeming with penguins, blue-footed boobies, whales, and sea lions. So it's got a little bit of everything, but I highly recommend this itinerary for those of your clients looking to dive deep into Peru. All right, and then the next trip that we have here, sorry, my computer's going incredibly slow. Perfect, monkeys, jungles, and volcanoes. So this is a perfect family trip for Costa Rica. It includes endless days spent ziplining through the lush canopy, gliding along the canals of Tortuguero under the watchful eyes of colorful toucans, and trekking up the slopes of a volcano in this action-packed family adventure in the Pura Vida playground, or Pura Vida. Perfect. Sorry, my computer's going incredibly slow right now. There we go. So for those adventurous clients, I highly recommend this itinerary. It's Wonders of Patagonia, 11 days, 2 countries, 10 cities. It covers Argentina and Chile. You're traveling to the ends of the earth, from the flamboyant capitals of Buenos Aires to the land of the giants, roaming solitary steppes, the rugged Andes, and glacial lakes. These insider experiences include dinner with Buenos Aires family and a Patagonian cowboy, cultural visits in Torres del Pan, which are going to enrich this Patagonian tour as well. So for the active outdoor enthusiast, I would highly recommend this itinerary for anyone looking to explore South America. All right, we're going to be wrapping up here shortly. I think I may have a few more trips left. I was trying to keep this to 10 o'clock, so if you're still sticking around, I appreciate you. Yeah, we have this great In the Footsteps of the Incas itinerary. So this is 11 days. So the big difference between this itinerary and the previous one called Land of the Incas, this one does not include the flight over the Nazca line. So if that is a bucket list item that your clients want to experience, I would push them more towards the Land of the Incas itinerary as opposed to In the Footsteps of the Incas. While we do visit a lot of similar destinations, that is the one thing that is kept out of this itinerary. So just be aware. And this is In the Footsteps of the Incas, and the previous one that I mentioned was Land of the Incas. But that is it. So I just wanted to do a great job highlighting Latin America with Trafalgar. I do want to just let you all know that, of course, we have the best ways to explore Europe and Britain as well outside of Latin America. And just so you're aware, in my territory, these are the 3 best-selling trips that I currently have, which is Best of Italy. You get to discover the best of Italy, from ancient treasures of Rome to the Renaissance Florence and everything in between. They get to stay overnight in a renovated Franciscan monastery in Assisi, lapping up the chic lifestyle on Capri, and taking a private guided visit to Pompeii to see a Roman city frozen in time. Our next best-selling trip in this territory is Best of Ireland and Scotland with Trafalgar. They get to see everything from the delicate Waterford crystal to the golfing greats of St. Andrews. They can kiss the Blarney Stone, and you'll be sharing tales from the Giant's Causeway, the Ring of Kerry, and the Scottish Highlands for years to come. And then another very popular itinerary this year is Best of Portugal. So anybody interested in Best of Portugal, I am currently in the process of getting approved to run a fam trip on this itinerary in October. I don't have dates yet, but as soon as they become available, I will send that invitation out. We're going to have an application process, and then we'll start selecting agents to go on that fam. I will be leading it with Mary, who is another sales manager that kind of hugs my territory as well. And then I did mention on this live training, if you're attending live right now, there is an incentive that I want to throw out your way. If it's something that you're interested in doing, no pressure whatsoever. But for the first person who's interested in building a group, we have 3 options for you. We have a scheduled departure where you can select an existing brochure date. We do require a minimum of 9 guests and a $500 group deposit that will hold a space up to 150 days prior to your departure. We also have an exclusive departure. If those of you feel confident that you can fill an entire coach, you can select an existing brochure date. We'll block out the entire coach. It does require a $1,000 group deposit, and we will hold a space up to 180 days prior. And then I am encouraging a lot of our agents to look at our custom group offerings. These are tailor-made itineraries. We only require 10 plus guests, minimum 4 nights, and a $500 group deposit. Be aware that the quote is given at net rate. So if you're looking to make a commission, you're going to have to add that commission amount to each booking. Now, the benefit of working with us on group trips, we build a website, a landing page, we can build PDF flyers to help you promote the trip, and we can definitely come up with creative ways to help market the trip in your local market. So if it is something that you're interested in doing, just know that whenever you book with us, 15 paid passengers equals 1 free spot. So if you're looking to travel with your clientele, it's the best way to build that long-term relationship, to have them coming back to do more and more groups with you in the future. And I will say our most successful group bookers do that. They do travel with their groups. So we can pay for your spot if you can get us 15 paid passengers, or if you'd prefer, we can do a 5% discount for the entire group. It just depends what you're looking for. So the incentive for those that are interested, the first person to request a group trip and place a deposit will earn a $500 marketing kind of gift card and plan from me, where we will work together to help you build this group trip. Well, and you can decide how you want to use that $500, by the way. I'm not going to dictate any of it. This is all completely designed by you, but I will provide up to $500 to help you promote this trip, whether it's a local ad buy. If you want to rent a small venue and promote the trip in person, we can do catering for a live event. I can host a live group presentation highlighting the trip, and we can even help you with developing a group strategy and marketing plan. So if you did attend this meeting live and you're interested in growing that group business, you will have to reach out to our groups department. They're going to be the ones that take down your information. As soon as they confirm that group trip and the deposit is paid, you are officially the winner of this $500 incentive that I will then use to help you promote that trip. So it is going to be based on first come, first serve. If those of you have been thinking about it, now's definitely the time to commit. And we'd love to get you guys excited and set up for your next big group adventure. So that is everything that I have for you guys today. I do highly encourage all of you to visit this website if you haven't already. It's agents.ttc.com/login. It will allow you to see all of our upcoming trips across our brands. We have itineraries even going into 2026 now. So we can definitely help you in any questions that you may have can be answered through the portal. In fact, you can do the entire booking through the portal itself. So I highly recommend registering, familiarizing yourself with it, because it will help you tons. So that is the presentation that I have. I'm going to go ahead and leave it open. I see there's a couple questions in the chat. Let me stop sharing my screen here. I'll turn my camera back on. All right. So many of your tours, this is from Judy Adams, many of your tours include a meal. Can you accommodate special dietary needs? Yes. So I did a tour with Trafalgar recently. I'm on a plant-based diet. We went to Bosnia-Herzegovina. And our travel director, the very first day, asked if we had any dietary restrictions, and basically kept very close track. There were several vegetarians. There were some people who were pescatarians on there. And none of us had any issues with being able to eat plenty of food. In fact, most of us overate. Awesome. So, yeah. Oh, I see a couple of comments. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate you for attending. Oh, and let me know if you still need help with those women-only tours. I saw your voicemail but wasn't able to call you back. Hey, Jessica, yes, I will definitely keep you posted on that upcoming FAM. Once my vice president lets me know the exact departure date, I will be reaching out to the agents in my territory, because we want to fill it with agents in our own territories before we open it up to everybody nationwide. But yeah, if there are no additional questions, I do want to say thank you all for attending live. I'm happy that you could make it and look forward to working with you in the future. You can always reach me directly if you have any additional questions. But yeah, thanks again for attending this Training Tuesday. Bye-bye.